So it turns out if you make a review video of a gaming computer and you don't talk about gaming, people tend to get a little upset. So I thought you and I could just quickly talk shop about video games and then we'll move on to the review. Fortnite, am I right? Ninja, he's really good, right? Oh yeah. Call of Duty, I heard there's a new one, like a battle royale version. You know, I've always been kind of a Halo person myself, but I respect that you play Call of Duty. That's cool. Guitar Hero. Is Guitar Hero still a thing? I feel like it's not, but maybe. Okay. Whew, that should be good. Let's move on with the review. Today, I sit before you with my 2019 Razerblade RTX2080 MaxQ with an OLED panel with which I have been using for 2D and 3D animation for a solid year now. I'm having fun, I'm being a little bit weird, but let's get to the point. Let's start by talking about the build quality. 1 year in. Something you should know is that I put this thing in my backpack and I carry it with me everywhere. I'll go to my studio, I'll take it to a coffee shop, and then I'll work from home. And so honestly, there should be some visible signs of wear and tear on this, but there are truly not any. I don't have any dents, I don't have any scratches, nothing that I can visibly see at all. I will say that the biggest difference between this and a MacBook Pro build quality wise is that there are some nooks and crannies that dust can settle in that I'm not used to with a MacBook Pro. Like some of these, I don't know if you can see the grill in here, but it just collects in these really tight spaces. And even though I have like one of these can dusters, I still can't get some of the dust out. So that is literally my only issue with the build quality, is that there's some tough spots to get dust out of. Boom, that's it. Let's talk about internals. As of right now, mine has the stock configuration, but not for long. It currently has 500 gigabytes of storage, which I'm probably gonna update to a terabyte soon, maybe even 2 terabytes. I haven't decided on that yet. I'm definitely going to be upgrading my RAM. Right now it has 16, but I'm gonna take it all the way up to 64. It has an i7. It also has for the GPU, it's an RTX2080 MaxQ. Let's talk about performance. Is it okay that I just jump right to performance? It seems like it's the only thing that actually matters anyways. My pal Aaron Bookout, who also has a Razerblade, we together just took on a very ambitious project. We created a pitch for a company called Our Place, and which I'm gonna actually be releasing the details of that project next week. Heyo, stay tuned. That project put our computers, our Razerblades, to the absolute test. We were using 8K texture files. We were using 16K HDRIs, massive sample rates using path tracing. We legitimately pushed them to the limit. And for the most part, my jaw is on the floor. This little tyke can do a lot. All right, I've got a scene open. One of the heavier scenes in this project. And I just wanted to walk you through, I just wanted to show you how rapidly fast this thing can get me visualization. I can move around and within real time, in real time, not within real time, in real time, I have visuals on what the project is going to look like. So if I stop here, we'll see within seconds, it's already starting to process. And I've got a pretty good idea of what this thing is gonna render out to be. And that's just insane for a laptop. I was coming from a MacBook Pro using CPU rendering, where every move I made, I had to wait 30 seconds just to get a really rough look at what I'm going to be rendering. I may sound a little hunky-dory, but it's for good reason. This machine can fit in a backpack. I can do this shot, and in fact, I did some of this shot at a coffee shop. That's miraculous. I may sound a little hunky-dory, but it's for good reason. This machine can fit in a backpack. I can do this shot, and in fact, I did some of this shot at a coffee shop. That's miraculous. All right, before you jump off this video because I'm being too optimistic, I will touch base on some of the compromises that have come along with using a laptop. Surprisingly, but not surprisingly, this bad boy is better at Cinema 4D than it is at After Effects. which is so weird, right? I mean, Cinema 4D requires so much more out of this thing than After Effects would, but why? So why is that the case? Well, the reason is because this computer, its main feature is its GPU. It's got a powerhouse. The RTX 2080 MaxQ is in this. However, the CPU is really just a mediocre i7 laptop CPU. And so the reason that all this is working out the way it is because 3D is optimized for GPU usage. They're way ahead in terms of GPU usage. After Effects, Photoshop, Illustrator are slowly adopting GPU into their programs, but it's still so heavily dependent on CPU. And so that's why this computer, it like just can full sprint in 3D programs, but it's honestly no better than my 2015 MacBook Pro in After Effects, which is a little bit of a bummer. I will say that I'm about to upgrade my RAM from 16 gigs to 64 gigs, which is gonna help my performance in After Effects quite a bit. Another thing is that the models that came out after mine in the last few months are i9 capable. So you could potentially have a much better CPU, and I think that's gonna remove a lot of the slowness in those other programs. So it's getting better for sure. The next downfall is Windows, but hear me out. I actually kind of like it, which is a big thing for me to say because I've been an Apple fanboy my entire life. But there is a big downfall within Windows 10 that is a little bit tough to wrap my head around. It's exceptionally unstable, like mind-blowingly unstable with the most minute tasks that you do day to day. Half of the time that I'm using it, I'm wondering if I made a mistake or if the computer is no longer operating the same way it was a minute ago. A good example of that is I use the start button all the time to search for apps. I would say half of the time that I push that start button, the program menu opens. The other half, it just flashes and nothing happens. Okay, that's one that I use all the time and it works half the time. That's a true bummer. Another great example is me when I'm taking a screenshot. I'll use their shortcut and it'll give me the little arrows, so I'll drag the selection I want to screenshot. Half the time it saves it to my clipboard like it's supposed to. The other half, it just disappears. Like that, it took a picture of nothing. Where did it go? I don't quite understand. Coming from Apple, I don't quite understand why or how it's as unstable as it is. That's all the negativity I have for you. Seriously, I put a lot of thought into making this video, and those are the only negative points that I even came across. That's pretty amazing. That's a really good sign that this is a great computer. I did want to end on a positive note. I wanted to talk about one last thing that just has made this computer over the edge for me, and it's the OLED panel. I can't tell you how much this simple addition of this screen has impacted my work. It sounds extreme, but for one, think about it. You're seeing your work on a detail perfect screen, which shows you areas that you need to get better at. It highlights the bad aspects of your picture. It shows you where you can focus to get better. That makes sense. But an area that I didn't expect to be impacted by was the fact that seeing my work on this screen adds a level of production value that I never had seen before. It makes me feel better about what I'm making. It's given me confidence to push harder, to try things that I wouldn't normally try. It just looks incredible on here and it makes me feel great. Okay, that's where I'm gonna stop. Let me quickly just sum all of this up. This computer has successfully allowed me to do 2D and 3D animation on the move. I can take this with me anywhere and produce anything that I want to create. That is amazing, and I'm actually thankful to the team at Razer that put time into making my life better in that way. I'm not stuck in a room with a mega huge computer to be able to do this kind of work, and I'm extremely thankful for that. I think when you factor in the build quality, the screen, the internals, I don't think there's any computer that compares to this one. I will say that Apple released their ARM chips, announced their ARM chips earlier this week, and that could be a huge contender to Razer in the coming days. But that's all speculation. So they're not expecting for their chips to be fully integrated for a couple of years, and so then programs have to be adapted to that. as of right now, this is the computer for me. This is the computer for anyone that's wanting to do this sort of work on the move. Thank you guys for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I hope you have an amazing week. I will see you next Tuesday.